Okay, good morning, everybody. As Bitcoin just hit 66.4, we hit a double bottom, which is great, which means we're on our way up. So the target for today is the all-time high 69,000. So we'll see if we hit that today. Also, Nick, wow, first one to say hello. There go the notifications. We are loving that. All right, man. Let me just get a few things ordered here. In order, I should say. Here we go. Yes, indeed. Hello, hello. Let's get that chat over here. Let's get that. Craig, good morning. Craig, hello. Just as I am grabbing the chat and moving it over, and then I will put it up on screen here. The Rumble chat. No. Will Bitcoin reach an all-time high? Okay, let's try that again. I got an idea. There it goes. Oh, so I just have to... Okay, I figured that out. Cool. There's the chat up there. Good, excellent. And the YouTube chat is over here. Let's start the Instagram up. Instagram is now up and running. I got some hot coffee. Thanks to my lovely fiance. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So, that was weird. That guy asked me about engagement and shit. And I asked him where the conversation came from, and he just walked away. Never responded. Just that was weird, right? Now is the time. Hit that thumbs up. Oh yeah, both of you, please give me the. Well, there's a few of you, so if you guys want to all give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. 66.6. That's 666s, guys. We were there yesterday, so I always remember these numbers. When I see numbers that are easy to remember, I make a note of that. 666, easy to remember. I do want to talk about a few things today. I'm watching Hassan. I realized I was not subscribed to Hassan's channel. His stuff was coming up so often that I just thought I was subscribed, but it's just popping up. And I realized I'm never catching him when he goes live. I don't even know when he goes live. So I realized I was not subscribed. So I hit subscribe and I turned on all notifications. So I will be able to catch him next time he goes live. Hopefully I'll get a notification, because I would like to catch his show when he's live and hear all the cursing, you know. Catch all the context. He did a really good review of Libs of TikTok. She's anti-trans, you know, whatever. Getting called out by Taylor Lorenz, she's a journalist. Jay, why should I follow your channel? You're not even going to tell me that you're going to follow mine? Why should I follow yours? Are you following this one? I mean, do you know how to say good morning or hello even? You just come into my live show and start offering up demands? I don't understand. What do you mean follow your channel? What is your content? What do you put out there? Jay Faxey? What do you put? What's your content? What's your channel? You gonna answer me? Are you going to answer me or are you going to say nothing? I guarantee you, no one here is going to follow your channel. I promise you that. You got nothing to say? Last chance. Last chance, because I'm going to block you from my channel. As soon as I see 10 fingers up on my screen on the Rumble, you're blocked. Mostly videos of me picking flowers. Huh? All right, you're gone. When someone asks you a question, when you're being so demanding, you really should answer. Yeah. Nobody knows you, nobody fucking cares, and we're all gonna fucking forget about you, so go fuck off. How about that? You fucking dumb cunt. Fuck you. Follow my channel. Oh, is it mostly videos of him picking flowers? You were being serious. You were being serious. Wow. Yeah, nobody wants to watch you pick flowers, dude. They want to come to the garden, they come here. I'm surprised that Craig Allen even took a moment to go see what you were about. I'm surprised. You shouldn't be so easily trolled, Craig. Anyway, he's gone, so fuck that guy. Like I said, you're going to come in here, make demands, and not respond to me? I'll do a quick check to make sure that you heard me, and you've got no time to respond. You know, as soon as I say, what's up, you better fucking respond. You're gone. I don't give a fuck. Someone like that's not watching my fucking show anyway. Oh, you didn't go over there. Oh, I thought you went over there and that's what was on his channel. That's funny. That's funny. You got me, Craig. You got me. That was a good one. We had a couple of deer come through the yard, and no, the 2-foot fence does not stop them from jumping over. They're like, bloop. They go right over the little fence, which is great. They get used to that. They can get away from my dog. Oh, you're making fun of the dude? Okay, that's fine. That is just fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone, it's fine. Great. Okay, so like I said, we hit a double bottom. Now we're at 667, soon to be 668. Wow, look at that. We've gone up almost $200 since we pointed that out. We were down to 65 earlier, too, so this is a big jump up. This is a big jump up. Oh, we got a new message over on the YouTubes. What's that? Look at that. Steve Running and Baba Blue Jaws. That was a 1 in a million. A lit hit on the head. A lit hit on the head. What up? Steve Running, are you telling me you just saw that for the first time? You just saw me catching my hair on fire for the first time ever? You know how old that video is? Oh my God, really? Really, Steve? Oh no, that was something else. That was from last night. My bad. Steve Running is not here. My bad. I'm talking to someone who's not here. That was a 1 in a million, a lit hit on the head. I guess we were talking about that last night or something. I don't remember. I was picking fun. I did get the Discord. Oh, good, good, good. Excellent. Excellent. Very good, very good. Okay, so what I'd like to do is pull up the Hassan video that I was watching. Let me just say this too. Graham Elwood put up a tweet this morning. His tweet was regarding a study that says that EVs, electric vehicles, are causing more pollution than actual gas-burning cars. And what Graham's response to that was, he doesn't believe it, and he thinks it's an big oil funded study. So I went and I've heard of this already. I've heard this, Elon Musk is evil. He's mining lithium and enslaving kids and creating just as much pollution to mine what they need for the batteries. But this was about the tires of the cars. And the tires are producing more emissions because the batteries in the cars make the cars way heavier. So the tires burn more rubber, and that is making more pollution than all of the gas and all of the fumes that we're putting out already. Graham Elwood doesn't believe it. So I tracked down the study, and sure enough, it's not a big oil-funded study. It was from a legitimate, transparent source that was just doing a study, and it's true. Yes, EV cars are absolutely causing more emissions than our gas-powered vehicles were. It's true. So I sent Graham a tweet, and I would love it if you guys would politely encourage him to engage in that conversation, politely, because he's a friend of mine, and just say, hey man, we think you were wrong about claiming big oil funded this study. It's legitimate, and they're not the only ones to study this. There's actually other people who have studied this too. It's not the only one. I've heard it plenty of times, and it's based in facts. You know, the batteries don't come from thin air, Graham. Just telling you, bro. Batteries aren't made from magic. You know, there are giant diesel tractors and huge bulldozers and gigantic, huge operations that are mining all of these things so that you can feel better about driving your car down the road, Graham. That's the lie, and that's what you need to look into. I'm not a right-winger, bro. I'm all for trying to save the planet, but also I'm a practical guy. And if you're going to give me like the Green New Deal, I'm going to look at that Green New Deal. I'm going to rip it apart. I'm going to find out, oh yeah, it's just the green wasn't about turning us green. It was about giving the green to all the wealthy people. That's all green was. The Green New Deal was just a money New Deal. So that the wealthy people can make more money off of the lie that they're selling us, that we can fix the planet. That's a lie. We cannot fix this planet. It's a fucking lie. If some fucking brain tank comes up with a solution, great. But as of right now, I haven't seen that solution. You know, nothing seems achievable. And nothing is being done to stop it, to reverse it. Oh, you're going to go plant a tree? Good for you. That ain't doing dick. We already know that, right? Those of us who have really done the research on this, we know we're pretty much fucked in all of this, right? 66,917, everybody. So if you want to go over there and politely, the key word, and be respectful and polite, because I do love the man. He's a wonderful person. He's just got this one little thing wrong. And I think, you know, he could be steered in the right direction. Feel free to go over on Twitter and be supportive of that. All right? I would like that. I would like to see him engaging with me rather than a guy with 103 tweets who's trolling him. That would make me feel better. You know, I deserve to have a conversation with Graham Elwood way more than that 103 tweet a follower fucking troll did. You know? So, feel free. So, let's find the Hassan video. And we'll get into that. Now, I've already watched a good portion of it, and I'm hoping that it gets better as it goes. So we're not going to watch the first half because I've already seen that. Let's see if it gets better, though. So we'll take it up from 16 minutes in.
Approach the subject. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's like if Cutie was this.
So the woman who runs Libs of TikTok, and Libs of TikTok is a giant discriminatory anti-trans channel on TikTok that hates anybody in the LGBTQ community, especially trans people, and all they do is they go after trans people, and it's not fair for them. It's not fair for the trans people, right? And you guys should agree with that. I hope you do. If you don't agree with me on that, and you think that Libs of TikTok is legit and whatever, just leave my show and don't ever come back here, because you don't deserve to watch this content. All right, I'm telling you the truth. You gotta trust me. If you don't trust that, go look into it a little bit and you'll find out. But we're not into discriminating against anyone based on their differences from us on this show. And if I find out that you are one of those people, I will fuck you up so bad. I will fuck you up. So don't even let me ever find out that you're one of those morons that discriminates against trans people. You know? So let's get back into this very interesting interview that Hassan is watching, and watch this Taylor Lorenz go after this woman from Libs of TikTok.
Deciding that no one can fly in a plane, so because she can't fly in a plane because she's terrified, no one should be able to fly in a plane. But Cutie Cinderella is not a reactionary psychopath, whereas Kaya is a reactionary psychopath, blessed with the bountiful, beautiful position of being a right-wing reactionary, with hyper-individualism and American exceptionalism built to her very foundation.
Oh, Hassan shaved.
It's the same mind
I just realized that.
I can wear this without falling on the ground, with no extra strategy of getting up. Because honestly, when you fall on this, it's over. It's Jover. You got to roll home. You just got to have someone roll your ass back home, because you ain't never getting back up.
Why'd you delete all your old posts?
It was just a one-time editorial decision. I stand by all my posts.
You know, I guess speaking of deleting posts, you still have a post up accusing the Uvalde shooter of being trans. Obviously that's been debunked.
Yeah, there's a community note on it.
So why not remove that post if you're so comfortable with removing posts?
Because there's a community note. I think it's clear. It's obviously it was unintentional. There was a watermark on it. It was from an account that was going around.
What a fucking dumb bitch. So this is the woman from Lives of TikTok. She put up a tweet claiming that, you know, the Uvalde shooter was trans. It was a lie. It wasn't true. She refuses to remove the tweet. Even though she's been debunked and it's a lie, she chooses to leave the lie up because she's a fucking cunt and a hater. And if this is the kind of people that you side with, get the fuck away from me and get the fuck out of my life. Forever. Don't ever come back until you get this shit right. Fuck you. Fucking hate you, motherfuckers.
Do you believe if, say, a journalist posts something factually incorrect or wrong, especially about someone else, you know, somebody was to say something factually wrong about you, do you believe they should remove that, or do you think they should be able to keep that content up?
Twitter is free speech.
Oh gosh, she's so fucking stupid.
She is so
I love this
stupid.
shit, dude. Guys, why do I always yell at you to be normal?
And let me just say this. Yeah, Twitter's free speech, and if we want to lie and tell lies and put out misrepresentation and misinformation, well, that's what free speech is all about. No, it's really not. It's not about giving you the opportunity to lie and fool people and get people to fucking die because they followed your stupid bullshit. It's not what free speech is about, you fucking idiot.
Why? This is why. If you don't check yourself, you might sometimes wreck yourself.
Oh,
What I mean
he
by
totally
this
went
is,
there. Yeah.
If you don't fucking check yourself and you don't like recenter your way of existence, because it is very easy sometimes to find ourselves in like Discord servers or splinter Discord servers being reaffirmed on our sometimes unhinged
Hate.
propositions,
Right.
and framework. This is a perfect representation of like how that kind of hug boxing, that kind of like desperation for a safe space ends
Never heard that
with
one.
you unironically thinking that you're in the right when you are, one, so wrong, and two, just so incredibly fucking dumb.
Baba Blue Jaw says, lithium mines are insane. Yes, they are. He also says, and I heard that the grid will not be able to support full EV for 50 years and that the production of EVs uses more fossil fuels than IC engines. Internal combustion engines. Right. Yeah, I've heard all that too from multiple sources.
Throughout this entire 53-minute interview, she comes across as unhinged and also incredibly uneducated. Why is she confident enough to film this and then have her assistant send this footage to Taylor Lorenz? Because she thought she's doing great. Because she thinks, well, everybody hates Taylor. She's like public enemy #1 on Twitter. Myself, public enemy #2. So she thinks this is an own. She thinks she's cooking.
She thinks this is an own.
She thinks people will not receive Taylor in a positive way on Twitter.
Oh, I'm receiving this in a positive way from Taylor Lorenz. Absolutely. Thank you for doing the footwork. Thank you for exposing this fucking bitch. I hope Taylor has, I hope this bitch from lives at TikTok, I hope she has children, and I hope they all turn out trans.
And have nobody be able to keep that up.
Fuck her.
Okay, so I'm kind of curious how you square that with the letter that you sent this morning to the Sphere, claiming that, you know, we're going to try to sue her for slander. You know, if free speech is free speech, then why are you threatening your critics with lawsuits?
Well, defamation is different.
So would you call misidentifying a shooter's sexuality defamation?
No, I wouldn't. Like I said, there's already a community note on it, so I'm glad that people now.
And you admit that it's wrong, right? Was the Uvalde
Yeah, and I
shooter-
wasn't the creator of that image.
Sure, but you can imagine if somebody amplified wrong information.
You know, the media, like Washington Post and other places, they lie all the time. They're never held accountable. They never regulate. They lie.
Oh, they lie, but you won't take down a lie of a tweet? How do you get to fucking accuse other people lying when you lie?
And simultaneously saying that's a wrong thing, but it's okay when I do. Classic.
See, I'm just like Hassan, everybody.
And we saw this
See
with
that?
Donald Trump, which is like, I
Same
have every
response.
right to have all the
I just smoke
classified
cannabis and he
information,
doesn't.
documents that I want
Yeah.
and
That's
store
the
it
difference.
wherever I want. So it's a watch out that they're coming after me. But also, they should go after Joe Biden, who should get the death penalty.
You know,
it's awesome. In this
cannabis, which I've been smoking on this show for 14 years every day, and I told you guys it was harmless, right? I just had a heart test. Guess what? My doctor said my heart was doing great. Great. I had 2 heart tests, and they said, you're looking great. So, you know, where's all the sickness from all the cannabis I've been smoking? Where's all the black spots? 2030. Let's do 2130. 2120. We're going to do 2120. Famous liar's tactics. Call everyone else a liar. Well, unfortunately, I do have to call everyone else a liar. You know, almost everyone does fucking lie for their narrative, which is sad. It feels good to not be one of those people. Thank you guys who appreciate me keeping it real. Thank you guys. And I will continue to keep it real. 66.9, we're about to hit 67, guys. It's right here. Yes. Where are we at? 21:20. Okay, 10 more seconds. Are you guys ready to smoke? Okay, no law regarding cannabis. Cheers, everybody. First dab of the show, I think. All right, let's get back into this. Let me know in the chat if you're still here, if you're still awake, if you're still supporting the show. Let me know.
Breath, she's like, it's really fucked up that the media is defaming people and lying, but it's not fucked up when I do it, and it's actually good when I do it.
I am not gonna. If you want to hold me to that level, then I can hold you to that level as well, and all the other media. So I just don't think, you know, we're not.
You're not being held to the same level. Mainstream media has to offer retractions. Now you can talk
Now,
about
before we went live, I was watching this. I watched 16 minutes in, and he attacked her based on her on her gender, basically. He said, you know, it'll be fun to find out that this Libs a TikTok woman is actually a lesbian, and she's just in the closet, and she's angry, so she lashes out at others, because you see that a lot with the Republicans. You know, you'll find out that some Republican was gay all along while he was passing anti-gay legislation, right? And banging his fucking, his AIDS. So, you know, no pun intended. This is the hypocrisy it's palpable, guys. And Hassan called her out. We'll go back to 15 minutes in and you can listen to that whole thing later. Because it's actually, he's good. It's funny. He says, look at what she's wearing. He's like, and she's never had dick before, this woman. Obviously, it's so funny, but we'll go back and listen to it.
The efficacy of said retractions and whether or not that actually works in real time, like how many will see the retractions. Oftentimes those are like very quiet retractions.
Yes,
anyway.
that's true.
But
retractions are bullshit. You need to get it right from the beginning.
You're saying you're not.
You need to get it right from the beginning.
Was the Uvalde shooter trans?
Fuck retractions.
The Uvalde shooter wasn't trans.
Got it. And so, I guess knowing that you posted wrong information, you're saying it should stay up, and everybody else should be allowed to keep whatever they have up as well. Is that sort of your stance? Am I accurately understanding it?
Is there a law against?
No, I'm not asking law. I'm just asking your personal sort of opinion. I'm just kind of curious because it seems like you have come after other people, such as vSphere and other critics, saying you posted wrong information about me, take it down.
Yeah, it means you're a hypocrite.
Different with defaming a journalist like that. They're defaming me.
And you don't think
Like
that
you're defaming trans people?
Trans when they weren't trans is defaming anyone.
Yeah.
No. Okay, interesting.
You calling the Uvalde shooter a trans person isn't defaming all trans people, making them all look bad. You stupid fucking lying hypocritical cunt bitch. Fuck you, fuck Libs at TikTok, and fuck everyone out there who supports this stupid fucking channel. You're all a bunch of fucking cunts too. You're all a massive bunch of cunts. So fuck the people that subscribe to Libs at TikTok. Fuck all of you. I'd spit on you now if I could.
They're knowingly lying about me.
What?
And what would...
Wait, so I don't get it. She's saying it's defamation to like accurately report on what you have done? I don't understand. She literally simultaneously personally calls herself a stochastic terrorist. Literally has.
What is that word? I don't even know what that word means.
PFP for the
Is it stochastic? Okay, Google. Stochastic definition. Stochastic.
Here's what I found.
Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Stochastic definition.
Here's the definition of stochastic. Technical. Having a random probability distribution or pattern that may be analyzed statistically but may not be predicted precisely.
Huh? Stochastic? Is that what he's saying? That doesn't make sense. That's got to be the wrong word. I don't know what word he's saying, everybody.
You don't think that calling a shooter trans when they weren't trans is defaming anyone?
No.
That's important to hear that. You don't think that calling a shooter trans when they're not trans is defaming anyone? She's like, no. Wow. I wish Taylor Lorenz had pushed back right then. Well, you are defaming all trans people, but let's just go on to the next one.
Okay, interesting.
Just saying.
I guess
They're like, no, they're knowingly lying about me.
What?
and you,
Like you're knowingly lying about trans people, you fucking cunt. Okay.
and what would,
Wait, so I don't get it. She's saying it's defamation to like accurately report on what you have done? I don't understand. She literally simultaneously personally calls herself a stochastic terror.
Stochastic. Having a random probability distribution or pattern that may be analyzed statistically but not be predicted precisely. What? Stochastic. Stochastic. Is that the word he's saying? It sounds like he's saying stochastic. I've never heard that word before. That doesn't make sense. Haphazardness. So she's got no order to what she does. She's just a blatant terrorist, I guess? I don't know, guys. It's a stupid term to call a terrorist stochastic. I think that's not the word. Maybe they're using the wrong word. I don't get it. I'm so confused.
Literally has that as like her Twitter PFP.
Hey, Billy's here. Just when I was thinking, God, I hope there's someone here who's smarter than me, who could tell me what word Hassan is saying and give me the reference for it, and then Billy shows up. Billy, can you figure out what he's saying? Is he saying stochastic? And if so, how does being random and unpredictable, they're calling her an unpredictable terrorist? Or I don't get that. What? I love lithium mines, also mulched my lawn with cigarette butts, did my hair with Aquanet, and I burned my own trash to help the community. Thank you, Billy. Maybe help me out with the stochastic thing.
For the record, the article.
Baba Bluejaw says, cheers to the truth. Famous liar's tactics, calling one a liar.
Calling her a stochastic terrorist. And
Dude, I should turn on the closed caption. Stochastic! There it is! Stochastic! Dude! Involving a random variable. Stochastic. That is the word. S-T-O-C-H-A-S-T-I-C. Stochastic. Randomly determined, having a random probability distribution or pattern. How does that apply to her being a fucking trans terrorist? I don't get it. Which she is. She's a transphobic terrorist. That's what I would call her. She's a closeted LGBTQ person, I bet. Like, that's what Hassan says. And I agree. 1,000%. Strikes me the same, self-loathing fucking cunt type,
And also celebrates that as an accomplishment openly while simultaneously saying it's defamation when you say it against me. What is it? Who's the other girl, the interviewer? I don't know anything about her. That is Taylor Lorenz, friend of the show, Taylor Lorenz.
Hey, Hassan, can you explain to us what a stochastic terrorist is and how the word stochastic plays into this randomness? I don't understand. Libs of TikTok is pretty explicit. And I think they have an agenda that is clear as crystal. So I don't understand. Hate is hate. So how can hate be stochastic?
who is a
Explain that to me.
real journalist.
I'm
She
so
used to work at
confused
the
right
Downtown,
now.
Working at the Washington Post, and she wrote a book as well.
No. You would think, right? They're stochastically calling her a terrorist, right? You would think, no. Earlier, you'll watch it earlier. She refers to herself as a stochastic terrorist. He just coined that term too. It's not that they're stochastically calling her a terrorist. They're literally calling her a stochastic terrorist. And she calls herself a stochastic terrorist, and that's what he's saying. Random. She's proud of the fact that she's a random terrorist or something. Unpredictable. That she's I don't know. She seems pretty predictable to me. Haters gonna hate. I don't see the confusion here.
Has written a
Let's
lot
keep working on this.
on online culture and things of that nature.
I have a feeling.
Get connected with
I'm smarter than I give myself credit for. And Billy's going to be like, dude, I don't get it either. It doesn't make sense. You're right. It does not make sense. As much as I tried to make it make sense, I cannot make this make sense. Then they're both idiots using big words to gain substance. Fail. I mean, there was someone else called her a stochastic terrorist. And then she took it on as a moniker.
They have, unfortunately, a lot of wokeness in the red state.
Wait a minute, the person recording this video is Chai's assistant, and Chai sent this video to Taylor. Is she really that delusional? Yes. The answer to your question is yes. She just said Oklahoma is too woke. Yeah, she said Woklahoma. I mean, this person's mind must be studied. And the right is taking this as a win. They are delulu. I think that's the point. That's precisely what I'm trying to talk about when I talk about like Twitter and how it.
The right is taking this as a win. Well, if you're one of my Republican viewers out there and you're watching this, I have a feeling you disagree. You're like, no, this makes Republicans look pretty bad. This really does make us look like a bunch of fucking haters. It really does. This is really bad. She knows that the Uvalde shooter was not trans, and yet she's intentionally leaving up the anti-trans tweet that she put up there. God damn. And she represents a lot of Republicans. There's a lot of people that follow her on TikTok. A lot. She's one of the biggest channels, I bet.
Is, as a matter of fact, not real life. A position that I have actually maintained for quite some time. Whether it be talking about like Bernie Sanders support and how that doesn't translate to like real world electoral outcomes.
Stochastic.
Twitter is not real life. Twitter can become real life when people
randomly determined.
Online, take the stuff that they see.
What
on
was
Twitter
randomly?
at face value
What
and
was
upload it
randomly
to mainstream
determined?
media, such as the reactionary nature of the Bernie Bros, like all the news articles that were
Okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Things since Elon's takeover, it has become increasingly more right wing. And therefore,
we're going to go 24 minutes in and stop, and then we'll go back.
Even less real life situation. The only people who desperately cling on to it and try to make something out of it are people who want to farm right-wing reactionaries in their audience and want those people in their audiences because, you know, a view is a view, a click is a click.
Had you originally sort of
Okay, cool. We're going to stop it right at 24 minutes, and I'm going to take you back to the beginning. And because Hassan, at one point later on, in this first 15 or 16 minutes, he goes after her based on her sexuality, her gender, whatever. And it makes a lot of sense. He makes a lot of sense. They call her Mrs. Chaotic. Really fantastic, Mr. Boom Boom Bastic. Then they're both idiots. Okay. Stochastic, the cobbler of I-75 in Tampa.
Speaking of conservatives and restaurants and conservatives attending restaurants, this conversation between libs of TikTok's very own Chaya Raichik and Taylor Lorenz is a perfect demonstration, in my opinion, of what it looks like when you are a reactionary conservative online doing the same nonsensical, idiotic bullshit in public, especially against someone who is, you know, sane. Now, the reason why this interview is uploaded on the motherfucking Taylor Lorenz YouTube page is also funny. I know the actual details because I reached out to Taylor after this interview popped off a couple days ago. I was like, Taylor, how the did you get access to this person like this unfettered, unfiltered access for 55 minutes? Taylor told me that it was actually HAHAH that personally was, willing to sit down with her as long as she filmed the process herself. It was actually HAHAH's assistant that was filming this interview. The conversation was supposed to take place for 10 minutes max. Taylor wrote an article about Nex, the non-binary 16-year-old that was brutalized and beaten up by 3 older students in an Oklahoma school, who then died a day later. Now, Taylor had written about the article. Taylor had written about this situation, and HAHAH Rychik is, of course, for those of you who don't know, a psychopathic, right-wing, crazy lady that runs the Libs of TikTok account. This account is, I guess, like a clear-cut definition of a stochastic terrorist, an account that is specifically involved in, doing terror to trans people. I don't know how else to describe it.
So he used the word right there, stochastic. Let me go back. That confuses the hell out of me.
Is of course, for those of you who don't know, a psychopathic, right-wing, crazy lady that runs the Libs of TikTok account. This account is, I guess, like a clear-cut definition of a stochastic terrorist.
Stochastic terrorism. The public demonization of a person or group resulting in the incitement of a violent act which is statistically probable but whose specifics cannot be predicted. Yeah, it does still. It still doesn't make sense to me. The public demonization of a person or group resulting in the incitement of a violent act, which is statistically probable but whose specifics cannot be predicted. The public demonization of a person or group, this would be the trans community, is being demonized, resulting in violence towards trans people, right? Which is statistically probable, which is probably going to happen statistically based on the hate she's putting out there, but whose specifics cannot be predicted. Well, yeah, I could predict that specifically trans people are going to get hurt over this. I'm so confused. Help me. Help me. I feel like I'm losing my mind, guys. I'm looking at the definition that Hassan put up on the screen. The lone wolf attack was apparently influenced by the rhetoric of stochastic terrorism. Okay, so that's like Ben Shapiro just spreading hate and just letting the chips fall where they may. I get it. I get it now. Okay, I totally get it. She's going to put out a bunch of hate knowing she knows what it's going to do. Definitely. She knows the results she's getting. But, no one knows where that violence is going to break out at or who's going to suffer. That is so dumb. It's fucking dumb. I wouldn't call it stochastic terrorism. I'd call it something more particular, something like encouraging terrorism, promoting terrorism, allowing terrorism to flourish. I like encouraging terrorism. Encouraged terrorism would be the terrorism that results from the stochastic terrorism, it should be called encouraging terrorism. not stochastic terrorism. It's gonna result in terrorism. There's no unpredictability about that. It's definitely going to cause some sort of terrorism to other people. That little girl died because of this bullshit. Instigating terrorism. Encouraging terrorism. Yeah, both of those work. That was a case of encouraging terrorism. It's a new term. You were encouraging it. You were breathing life into it. You were giving the go-ahead, giving the okay. Stochastic, which is statistically probable, but specifics cannot be predicted. I think that's a dumb name. That's all. I just think I'm not going to get too hung up on it. I already have, I guess, huh?
An account that is specifically involved in, doing terror to trans people. I don't know how else to describe it. Her entire purpose is to find random queer people in places of regular business and out them, or not out them specifically, but lie about them, call them groomers and pedophiles to her.
We're familiar with this,
psychopathic,
and we've discussed it.
Monstrous, transphobic losers. It is not even just a cyber lynch mob. Cyber lynch mob is adequate. However, it's not just a cyber lynch mob. It actually has real world consequences. Because as a hate monger,
66-9, 67,
or even an institution like
67-19,
for example, in Kaya's crosshairs, that hospital will always get suspiciously.
We were just there a minute ago and I missed it.
Professionals that work there, and even bomb threats, as a matter of fact. Very famously, bomb threats to a children's hospital. Just so you understand, and of course, Kaya and Taylor.
Stupid should have silent letters just to waste our time.
Taylor was the person that found out who she was and basically unmasked her, the anonymous account, and I think she was very valid to do so. Before people go, oh, that's doxing. There is a difference between having a stochastic terrorist account that simply anonymously is engaging in stochastic terrorism.
So she literally is doing an interview, an hour interview, with the woman who told the world who she was.
Which I think is still worthy of unmasking, versus a stochastic terror account that also was officially collaborating with organs of the government, which Kaya was. Ron DeSantis' own personal spokesperson was working alongside Kaya Reichik, getting notes from her.
Hey, now there might be a name that you guys are familiar with, huh? While we're talking about all this hatred towards the trans community, whose name popped up all of a sudden? Anybody? Who's the first person in the audience who caught that? Who could tell me what name just popped up? Bad golfer, good drinker, what's up if you're here? Jagamashe, what's up? If you're here, Martin Copeland's always here. Cushy Monster 710, hello. If you're there in the IG. Anybody catch that? Who's with me, man? Who in the chat caught that? Whose name just got dropped in the convo that we're talking about trans hate? LGBTQ hate. Baba Blue Jaws gets it. Ron DeSantis. I'm declaring war on that word. When I hear it, I'm going to kick a bunny rabbit every time. No. Ron DeSantis. Exactly. Baba Blue Jaws gets it. No, listen. It's the governor of Florida, everybody. The guy that I've warned you and warned you and warned you and warned you about. Listen to this.
Spokesperson was working alongside Kaya Reichik, getting notes from her, which made it even additionally more valid as far with organs of the government, which Kaya was. Ron DeSantis' own personal spokesperson was working alongside Kaya Reichik, getting notes from her, which made it even additionally more valid as far as journalism goes. She's also one of the dumbest people on the planet. Here's on January 24th, 2023, Libs of TikTok creator Chaya Raichik said, "They made up the term stochastic terrorist for us, so honestly, like, that makes me feel really important."
They made up the stochastic terrorism term, like, for me, like...
No, they did make it up for you. No, they did. I'm giving you the credit. I'm saying they accused me of that, but they didn't make up the word then. They made up the word for you. You are the stochastic terrorist.
They weren't using that term back then.
No, Dora, you woke them up to their full regard. Let me clarify. But they were accusing me of that, but they didn't have a word for it yet.
Yeah, they literally made that up for like me, Tucker, and Matt Walsh and Chris Rufo. Like they made up the term stochastic.
Yeah, you're in a group with Matt Walsh.
So, honestly,
You should be so proud of yourself, you fucking cunt. They made it up for me and Matt Walsh. Yeah, and Tucker. Yeah, what a fine group to be associated with. You fucking cunt.
But they were accusing me of that, but they didn't have a word for it yet.
Yeah, they literally made that up for like me, Tucker, and Matt Walsh and Chris Rufo. Like they made up the term stochastic terrorist for us. So honestly, like that makes me feel really important. So thank you.
She said important correctly.
He's like an unabashed fascist himself, of course. Elijah was fired from the Blaze for sexually assaulting a coworker. This is correct. That is Elijah, whatever the fuck his last name is, I forget, who was too much of a sexual assaulter and a sexual harasser for him to be fired from a place that literally is a placeholder and a permanent jobs program for sexual assaulters and sexual harassers that were fired from Fox News. By the way, according to Wikipedia, the term stochastic terrorism was coined in 2002 by Gordon Wu, but the invention term as it is used today was 2011. Kaya is 28 years old. Oh my god, Kaya Raichik is 28 years old? Are you for fucking real right now? God damn, she's so hurt. Holy moly, that is a bad 28, dog.
It is a bad
You should not have
28.
told me that. Yo.
I would have thought she was
yikes,
40-ish.
He fucking ages you like nothing else. I'm 4 years older than her? There ain't no fucking way. I'm 4 years older than this woman? That's actually kind of, wow.
Show her face,
That's
Hassan,
crazy.
while
I
you're
did not
saying
know
that.
Oh my god. What is on her shirt? She is wearing a t-shirt that has Taylor Lorenz's face on it because she is insane. She thinks this is cool and fun and funny. But to the average person, to the onlooker
It's
from
horrific.
the outside, to the bus driver,
Right.
if you will, if we're going to talk about, the bus driver.
Hey,
thing that I
Skeeter
hear all
B,
the
what's
time.
up, Michael?
Could you describe, how would a bus driver receive you? Like a freak. Because she is a freak. Let's continue.
So thank you so much for meeting. First of all, I saw Seth Dillon today saying you guys are no longer affiliated. What happened with there? I know that he invested in you early, was a huge supporter of you.
Just parted ways.
For what reason?
Personal reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? You didn't align.
Totally am.
Seth Dillon is the CEO of Babylon Bee. Seth Dillon, famous for saying things on the timeline like, oh, this 14-year-old victim of rape is getting to learn the wonders of giving birth.
Wow.
Seth Dillon, who unironically has defended a 14-year-old rape victim being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. Just remember that. That's Seth Dillon, owner of Babylon Bee.
Wow.
Mr. Babylon Might Be. That Seth Dillon recognized that the endless amounts of political drama that Kaya Raichik engages in with a sea of death threats that follow anytime she posts about someone was unfortunately too much and too hot for the Babylon motherfucking Bee. Remember, the reason why I gave you information on Seth Dillon beforehand is so that you understand even guys like that are like, oh, Kaya is a little bit too far and is actually bringing a lot of attention in a negative way and possibly opening us up for legal trouble. So we are going to part ways. At least that is my assessment, my personal assessment on the matter. Something to consider.
I believe in personal liberty and bodily autonomy personally.
So kids should be able to cut off their breastfeeding gender ways.
I mean, I believe in gender ideology. I guess I personally, my feeling is that I believe in personal liberty. I grew up in a town where a lot of people, for their middle school graduation, women got nose jobs. I knew somebody that got a boob job at age 14. And I guess I struggle to kind of understand the criticism when there's certainly no criticism of that sort of thing, right? But then there's criticism of this other sort of gender-affirming, stuff. So
So you're comparing a boy being allowed to chop off his penis to a teenage girl getting a nose job?
just to be extra clear, I don't believe that 13-year-olds are able to make those sort of medical decisions.
Minors are, yeah.
Oh, really? Where?
Children's National Hospital in DC gives 16-year-olds hysterectomies.
16-year-olds.
They gave me that. They told me that directly. They said 16 girls and younger. So hysterectomies. There are
for fucking medical reasons. She's such an idiot.
I'm not aware of a specific case of a minor.
She's such an idiot.
Yeah, which has, you know, 15-year-olds are an adult. But let's just get back to
So what she's doing here is maybe unsurprising for you if you're familiar with the way that right-wingers operate, is an exaggeration.
Like Matt
It's
Walsh.
across the board incorrect. Medical intervention of this kind for minors is heavily scrutinized, and it is only done as a last resort. The notion that they're just like lobbing off 16-year-old titties or whatever the fuck the way that she's trying to describe it is crazy. What that factors in is
52
incredibly rare
minutes in.
instances of like
50
cancer.
52
The idea that this is a
52 minutes in.
is insane.
52.
You're talking about
What happened to
breast reduction
67,
surgeries
man?
Or like
Aw.
unique hormone issues.
Are we forming
and
another
cancer
double bottom?
treatment. It's not trans kids going in and getting this like voluntary procedure without any medical scrutiny whatsoever. The idea that this is like commonplace and super easy to conduct is ridiculous. DC Children's Hospital harassed over trans youth services. Yeah. In an audio recording posted Thursday by the conservative Twitter account Libs of TikTok, a Children's National employee appears to say that the hospital offers gender-affirming hysterectomies to minors. Since Thursday, the hospital has been the target of a large volume of hostile and threatening phone calls and emails, a spokesperson said in a statement to the Associated Press. The spokesperson also denied that Children's National performs hysterectomies for minors. None of the people who were secretly recorded by this activist group delivered care to our patients, they said. The information in the recording is not accurate. We do not perform gender-affirming hysterectomies for anyone under the age of 18. This, of course, does not stop HAHAH Reichik's fan base from literally fucking sending bomb threats to the hospital and sending death threats to every single medical personnel there. The notion that this is a commonplace procedure that is happening all the time is completely and utterly made up. That's it. Earlier this month,
No longer gonna
doctors
get
and
his cheers,
staffers
everybody.
of Boston
I'm
Children's
late.
Hospital reported receiving threats of violence. Just remember, guys, the bad guys are not the people sending bomb threats to a children's hospital. This is so comical that it's like something the Joker would do in a Batman subplot. It is like cliche. Issuing bomb threats at a children's hospital, I must be the good guy in this story. Former Brooklyn real estate agent and self-described stochastic terrorist HAHAH Reichik, aka Libs of TikTok, is appointed to the Library Media Advisory Committee for Oklahoma Schools, a state she doesn't reside in. She also sometimes complains to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk defends her. So, unfortunately for all of us, she has no valid background to have this position at all. She hasn't even lived in Oklahoma. The only reason why she was put into that position is because she is a petulant, psychopathic, bloodthirsty, monstrous transphobe. That's it. Those were her
Here we go.
qualifications for the position. It was a way to say, we stand with you.
But let's just get back to the great replacement stuff, because I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that whole ideology?
There were some minds over the past 3 years that there were more illegals coming into our border than children being born in the U.S. Does that not look like they're trying to replace us?
One of the funniest parts about this
Replace
of course,
us.
is that the great replacement theory that she's channeling
Replace
is
us.
objectively a white supremacist Nazi slogan. And of course, those very same white supremacist Nazis that champion the great replacement theory also believe that Jewish people are responsible for said great replacement theory,
Right.
and HAHAH is an Orthodox Jew. Perhaps she's too stupid to recognize that reality. I don't know. Because when people say they are doing great replacement, you are a part of the they, lady. They don't mean like they are doing great replacement. Some might think it's like the liberals or the Democrats. The real ones, the actual fucking Nazis that have been championing this since the dawn of fascism, have directly laid the blame at Jews.
I guess sort of
They're
imagine
bringing in
America
a whole
as
new
a
population.
melting pot. Isn't that sort of what America was founded
No, but
on?
they're actually bringing in more people than are actually being born.
So I guess it sounds like you sort of do ascribe to this theory of the great replacement. How does that
I
make
just
you
look at the
feel?
facts and the numbers.
Well, so, I mean, just let's give a corollary, right? A lot of Jewish people fled, Europe, came over here also as immigrants. And there's a lot of criticism towards Jewish people in those movements, in those far-right movements. So I'm just wondering sort of how you feel about that and the role of this case that might think of you as a minority and outsider.
Not all cultures are equal. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, those anti-Semites help me pay my bills. So
Not all
maybe
cultures
they
are
got
equal.
Some good ideas. That's so funny.
You have a lot of concerns about
How American of you.
library
You fucking Republican.
especially
Really?
importing people
Not all
who want
cultures are
to-
equal? Republican?
Yeah,
Really? Wow.
Who's they?
Huh.
HAHAH? Who's the they?
just back to the sort of education stuff, I know that you're interested in removing a bunch of books from libraries that you consider inappropriate. I was just wondering, out of all the books that you've sort of tried to get removed, how many have you read?
I've read a couple of them.
Which ones?
Genderqueer.
Uh-huh.
I've read This Book Is Gay. I've read Flamer. I've read what were some of the other ones? My Shadow is Pink. It Feels Good to Be Yourself. There's so many more. Tons of them.
She didn't read any of those books. It is also funny because, like, obviously, I don't even know if she knows how to fucking read, okay? But it is, once again, very funny because there is an incredibly high likelihood that she's also, and this does not mean that, like, all gay people
here we go, guys.
are, like,
this is it.
only reactionary homophobes and bigots are gay or anything like that. But there is a very high likelihood, all things considered, with her hypersexual obsession, her pathological sexual obsession with Taylor Lorenz, that she herself might also be an in-the-closet lesbian. There is a likelihood.
So you did have sex ed classes when you were growing up?
We had some kind of education, yeah.
So you do think it's important for children to have education, sex education?
Not the way they're doing it.
Look at his chat.
How are they doing it?
Look at his chat.
It's porn and telling third graders that they should masturbate. They're giving middle school children guides to gay sex. And
Dude, his chat is fucking blowing up right now. Look at that.
At this point, I want all sex education actually removed from schools because I don't trust the schools to do it.
Okay.
After what we've seen, I don't trust them at all. Zero. We need to completely eradicate it and then
Eradicate sex education.
Okay, what is the normal way to do it? I'm sorry, but, like, I don't really want her dictating this kind of thing, okay? I think that a good question to ask here would be, do you think
She's an idiot.
that you should have a say in how we teach sex ed to children, or do you think
the fact that
professionals
she's even
should
got
have
that
a say
opinion.
in the matter?
Oh,
'Cause
sorry,
it's like,
Jesus.
why do
I'm sorry,
you
little baby
want
Jesus.
to interfere in an area
I knocked over
that,
baby Jesus.
like, people who have literally trained for their whole fucking lives and are infinitely more knowledgeable on? You are literally bitchless. Here you are, sitting with your incredibly
Bitchless.
long jean skirt
Bitchless.
that is, like, otherwise defined
Sorry,
as a
baby
pant,
Jesus.
a singular
Stand up,
pant.
man. You gotta stand up for
unmarried,
yourself, Jesus.
and completely
You gotta
devoid
stand
of
up for
dick,
yourself,
and
Jesus.
simultaneously bitchless too.
Bitchless.
You are a no pussy having ass. Why do you get to dictate how children should learn about sex ed when you yourself never got sex ed, don't understand why it's necessary, and have no formal training in this area at all? For those of you who want to know what I'm talking about, this is the woman who's like, I should be the one teaching children how to masturbate or whatever. It's almost like the entire conservative movement is based on policing things they don't know anything about. Yeah, exactly. It's like entirely fear-based. The fear of the unknown. Bigotry is the greatest way to deal with said uncertainty. You're like, oh, I don't fully personally understand this shit, but it scares me, so I don't think anyone else should even broach the subject. Wonderful. Yeah, it's like if Cutie was deciding that no one can fly in a plane, so because she can't fly in a plane because she's terrified, no one should be able to fly in a plane. But Cutie Cinderella is not a reactionary psychopath, whereas Kaya is a reactionary psychopath, blessed with the bountiful, beautiful position of being a right-wing reactionary, with hyper-individualism and American exceptionalism built to her very foundation. It's the same mind that thought, I can wear this without falling on the ground, with no extra strategy of getting up. Because honestly, when you fall on this, it's over. It's Jover. You gotta roll home. You just gotta have someone roll your ass back home, because you ain't never getting back up.
Why'd you delete all your old posts?
It was just a one-time editorial decision. I stand by all my posts.
I guess, speaking of deleting posts, you still have a post up accusing the Uvalde shooter of being trans. Obviously that's been debunked.
Yeah, there's a community note on it.
So why not remove that post if you're so comfortable with removing posts?
Because there's a community now. I think it's clear. It's obviously it was unintentional. There was a watermark on it. It was from an account that was going around. And I'm glad there's a community note so people know that.
Do you believe if, say, a journalist posts something factually incorrect or wrong, especially about someone else, somebody was to say something factually wrong about you, do you believe they should remove that, or do you think they should be able to keep that content up?
Twitter is free speech.
Oh, gosh, she's so fucking stupid. I love this shit, dude. Guys, why do I always yell at you to be fucking normal? Why? This is why. If you don't check yourself, you might sometimes wreck yourself. What I mean by this is, if you don't fucking check yourself, and you don't, like, recenter your way of existence, Because it is very easy sometimes to find ourselves in like Discord servers or splinter Discord servers being reaffirmed on our sometimes unhinged propositions and framework. This is a perfect representation of like how that kind of hug boxing, that kind of like desperation for a safe space ends up with you unironically thinking that you're in the right when you are one, so wrong, and two, just so incredibly fucking dumb. Throughout this entire 53-minute interview, she comes across as unhinged and also incredibly uneducated. Why is she confident enough to film this and then have her assistant send this footage to Taylor Lorenz? Because she thought she's doing great. Because she thinks, well, everybody hates Taylor. She's like public enemy number 1 on Twitter.
Here's
Myself,
24
public enemy
minutes
number
in.
2.
What had Oklahoma get on your radar as opposed to some others?
Because I started posting about the stuff going on in schools there.
By the way, you have to understand something. What's happening here is not a debate. That's why Taylor is asking all of these questions. She is doing her due diligence as a journalist. I have to remind people, the reason why this looks bad for Chaya is not because Taylor is trying to make her look bad. Taylor is doing what Taylor does as a journalist, interviewing someone she is writing about. It's Chaya's responses that turn this into like a contentious situation.
Your posts about private citizens, incendiary posts, you consider that journalism?
I'm an independent journalist.
Uh-huh. And do you think that there's a difference between doing journalism on a completely private figure that has no public presence and no institutional power versus reporting on a powerful public institution or person?
You still didn't answer the question. Is a journalist responsible for reporting for any actions that happen after the reporting?
Personally, I think that journalists should take care and should consider sort of the framing, and I think that they should do their best not to appear as if they encourage that sort of behavior. I've noticed that you haven't necessarily publicly condemned that behavior, publicly told your supporters, listen guys, stop calling in these bomb threats.
Who said it's my followers? Do you have information on it's my followers?
I guess who else's followers would it be?
I don't know.
So
There's 300 million people in this country.
So you post bomb threats follow, and you're saying it might be just unrelated people?
I have no idea. We don't know who it is.
Have you taken steps to find out?
We filed some FOIAs with police departments.
What have you found?
We haven't got to anything useful yet that we can use.
What about the white supremacist shooter that said that had posts saying like this one's for libs of TikTok? There's so many of them. I can't even remember.
Really?
Well, they said it was like a false flag though.
You know, if you eradicate transgenderism, which I believe you suggested
Wow.
in a post today.
No, I never suggested that.
Oh, okay. You reposted a post that was advocating for that. What would happen to the people that have already medically, socially, completely transitioned and are leading happy lives? What would happen to them? I mean, what's your plan for that? If transgenderism doesn't exist, which it seems like that's what you believe, what happens to all the people living happy lives as trans people?
First of all, the whole trans it's based on a lie. You can't change your gender.
Okay, but
So they could go live their life. I mean, I can't tell someone what to do in their house.
sounds like you do want to tell people what to do in their house.
I never said that.
So you're totally okay with people being trans, just not as long as they're in public.
No, I never said that. They could. It's the whole thing is based
Wow.
off of a lie, and I think that
She
has
is
no answer
owner,
for this.
self-owned.
This part is like one of the most damning aspects of this entire interview.
She
and
is
it went viral
self-owning
on Twitter
herself.
As well.
Oh my
Now,
God.
who's to say that sort of thing has any sway whatsoever? But I did personally think it was very interesting that this is like a fundamental plank, a fundamental position that she has. And she has so much conviction for it. Bloodlust, I would say. And yet, for some weird reason, she hasn't even like interrogated her own fucking views on the matter. It's wild to watch her buffer and hit a fucking reset. Like Matt Walsh would be able to answer this question.
Matt
okay,
Walsh,
it
what
would
a
be
piece of
nonsensical.
shit.
It'd be hokum. It would be ridiculous. But Chaya Raichik is a uniquely dumb and delusional person. That she can't even answer it.
this lie cannot be mainstream in our society. It's a lie.
And what harm is it causing, do you believe?
I like the truth. I like truth.
Right, but I'm saying what's the harm of people expressing their gender identity differently than you believe it to be? What harm are they causing?
Like I said, we are a nation of truth, and I seek the truth.
But I'm asking about the harm. What's the harm? You might believe it to be false, but what's
The harm is that there's a lie that is very mainstream and is being embedded into every institution.
I guess I'm wondering what the material harm is. Aside from it's maybe something that you disagree with, as in your version of the truth is different than their version of the truth, what is the material harm of them living their life as a woman or man or gender that you don't agree with?
Not anything that's wrong is there a material harm necessarily.
So there's no harm.
I didn't say that.
So can you name a single harm?
The way that it's pushed onto kids, first of all.
What's pushed onto kids?
Gender ideology, transgenderism.
But if they're leading happy lives, and they just are leading a
Well,
different...
there are studies that show that they're more suicidal after transition.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, there's a study out of Sweden.
That is not true. That is not true.
Yeah, you can look up the study.
Well, taking into account all of the happy people that have transitioned, who are not harming anyone, you can't come up with a single material harm?
So, if someone says, I'll be happier if I'm blind, should a doctor pull their eyes out?
Wait, what the fuck? Why would you compare? Wait, what? Why would you compare medical procedures that genuinely alleviate pain, whether it's psychological pain or in some instances like physical pain even, to like personally disabling yourself? That is insane. You can't say that. You could technically make that argument about every medical decision, okay? Because that's what it is. Gender reassignment or getting on HRT or puberty blockers is a medical decision. That is actually crazy to make that comparison. But once again, there are obviously plenty of instances where there are enough people.
Thank you, Bad Bad Blue Jaws. Good looking out.
Might as well be, right? As long as she stays in that pocket. She goes outside of that pocket, and all of a sudden, it's like people are looking at
When
her
it
like,
counted,
that
bro.
doesn't
You were
sound
there.
right at all. Unless she personally thinks being a woman is a disability. People with type 1 diabetes just don't make insulin, so why should I poison them with insulin, sweaty?
There are a lot of people that have ideas about women, right? And about what makes a woman, right? What makes a appropriate woman? How should a woman? You're saying you're against people sort of like living lives or living outside this ideology that you've constructed. Some might say, look, we're both women over the age of 25, working. I certainly don't have kids. You know, they might consider that not okay for a woman. Do you think it's up to that? Do you think it's okay for them to dictate how you live your life as a woman? Do you think it's up or sort of where does that line get drawn?
So again, you're comparing boob jobs to teenage girls chopping up her breasts.
Well, first of all, teenage girls get boob jobs, but breast enhancements are gender affirming for many women. I'm asking you, why is it that people have to live under your sort of view of gender? And
it's not my view, it's science. It's facts.
It's not. This is the greatest lie that conservatives have been able to delude themselves into thinking, is that they are in any way, shape, or form defending science. They are not. And because science is oftentimes very unapproachable and hard to comprehend, a lot of people don't look any further than their own blind delusions. Conservatism always is historically anti-science to begin with, but especially in recent years, I would say in the past few decades, conservatives, and Ben Shapiro used to do this all fucking time, adopted the motto that, like, facts not feelings. We are actually the ones with the facts. And it's really interesting because they are literally operating on feelings. Nothing that they advocate for is backed by science. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority of people who have the appropriate information on this matter will voluntarily go out of their way to inform the public against their deliberate efforts to misinform the public. It is wild, though, because while in the past I feel like you just say the Bible told me so and that's the reason, right? Nowadays, at least conservatives have adopted the position that this is not like a biblical reason, even though in reality the reasoning does come from the Bible for them. It is quite interesting that they have maintained the position that they are the ones who are actually presenting real science, especially when it comes to gender. It's wild. I'm doing a PhD in bioinformatics, and everything we know about genetics show gender is non-binary. I'm tired of transphobes using my own field to push bullshit. I mean, it's funny. They deny climate science and have done for a very long time. They deny the science on gender and biology while simultaneously claiming that they are the ones who are championing biology, which is ridiculous. They deny the science on COVID, on its impact on a population. They deny the science on vaccines. They deny the science on everything. And yet, we're supposed to sit there and be like, yeah, no, the dumbest motherfuckers you've ever seen are hyping each other up. So we gotta sit there and act like they have anything worth a damn to say. I guess if enough people are flat earthers, then yeah, we just gotta act like flat earthers have a point or something. Like, I don't know.
And if we're talking biology, there's a spectrum of gender. There's people that are intersex.
That is a rare medical condition.
It's not a rare medical condition. Intersex is as rare a medical condition as like being a redhead is, okay? There are more intersex people on the planet than there are Jewish people. There are more intersex people on the planet than there are redheads. What the fuck are we talking about here?
What about all these happy trans people that are living their lives? They're not harming anyone. What harm are they doing by living their life as a woman who've medically transitioned? They're adults. You know, I understand you have problems with kids, but with adult trans people, what's the harm that they're doing to society?
To society, it's they're spreading a lie that is affecting children also.
So you just believe gender is a lie. And what if somebody said to
you can't change your gender.
And what if somebody said to you, you know, you're not a real woman. You're not a real woman because maybe you don't meet these certain specific definitions of femininity.
That's fine. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want.
But what if you would be forced to live by that system? Do you think it's fair that you would, be forced?
Is that based in like science?
Well, I don't think any of it's really based in science.
Well, it is.
Gender is a social construct.
Well, gender is actually made up.
Exactly. Yes, we agree on that.
By a child predator, by a pedophile.
We don't agree.
Yeah. So he made up gender, and now they conflate the two, and they use it.
Well, okay, so like, what? Men and women didn't exist then before the fucking dude? Like, what do you mean? I mean, this is a person who literally thinks that like stochastic terror was a designation that was created specifically for her. So she's saying one guy invented gender is so funny. Like, there's been a concept of third gender in India.
Ethereum is way up, guys. Ethereum is at
many other places around the planet.
38.
Long before any fucking doctor or anyone that she thinks invented
Ethereum is
in America with Native Americans.
13.7% up on its 24-hour, everybody. So we're about to take off.
Outside of the United States of America, or fucking
here we're back up at 66.
America, we are a fucking melting pot. There's hella people from other places. Look at the way people from other cultures and other countries present themselves. It's the clothes that you wear. It's the way that you express yourself. One quick example is like what is considered as like peak of like sexy manhood in a place like Korea versus, I don't know, peak sexy manhood in like a Latin American country or the United States of America, as a matter of fact. The concept of gender has changed, like gender norms have changed dramatically throughout time, even in this country. Look at the fucking founding fathers. Those motherfuckers were wearing powdered wigs and shit. The fuck are we talking about? Dudes were wearing skirts. Dudes were wearing high heels and makeup and powdered wigs. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, does that not signal anything in your mind? Like, that doesn't help you understand that this is all like completely made up?
You know, a lot of LGBTQ people say that your posts cause an enormous amount of pain. How does that make you feel?
How does it make you feel that you're reporting on me causes me pain?
I feel sad for that, honestly. Yeah.
So would you stop?
No, I'm a journalist and you're a public figure. But I'm just talking about, these non-public figures, right? These non-public figures that are...
Well, if you put yourself out there on a public platform, then you're kind of making
So anybody that posts on social media is a public figure, in your mind?
If you're putting your videos out there with the intention that it should go viral, you want publicity.
So if somebody's posting on social media, which inherently posting on social media, you're looking for attention, right? You're saying that meets the bar for a public figure?
Well, first of all, a lot of people I post about are actually in positions that are public.
But
teachers,
I'm talking about
doctors.
the people that haven't, right? The individual private citizens that you've posted who are not, I would argue they're not public figures. You're saying they are public figures because they're posting on social media?
They want to be public. They're public. They're going on a public platform and publicly posting a video on a social media site that is meant for your videos to go viral.
And what about Twitter? Would you consider Twitter as well a platform where stuff is meant to go viral?
Every social media. If someone posts something on social media,
I don't think she understands that she's like personally walking into a trap, I guess, where like the point is you are bringing about death threats upon like random individuals while simultaneously complaining about like death threats that you receive, shouldn't you be the first person to not put the spotlight on others if you personally recognize it? Like you recognize the damaging impact of it?
Let's talk about drag shows. You know, you've come out a lot about, and you're very against drag shows. Can you give any examples of children being harmed from drag shows?
Yeah, there was one where this mom was saying that her kid decided to be non-binary after watching the drag show, and then the drag queen helped the kid buy like new clothes to be non-binary.
And you consider that harmful?
Yeah, well, because non-binary is made up. Like you can't, there's no such thing as non-binary.
Okay, first of all, once again, you can't be talking about what people can and can't wear, as you are currently wearing a jort. Not even a jort, but a just skirt, a pant, a jean pant, a singular pant of jean. I will take anyone else's a jert, I think. I will take anyone else's opinion on what people should and shouldn't wear over whatever the fuck you got going on. Lady, get the fuck out of here. Half a jinko. Exactly. Is she wearing a t-shirt of herself crying? No, she's wearing a t-shirt of Taylor Lorenz crying, which also is very normal stuff. It's just super normal to do.
And then it just leads a kid on a path where probably they'll end up in a hospital getting some other body parts chopped off.
You seem very against plastic surgery. Are you against?
I'm against exchange surgeries.
What about women that want to get their boobs done, want to get their nose done, want to get cheek
We're
implants?
just gonna go in circles.
I'm just curious.
It's good to note that you're comparing nose jobs to teen girls getting their breast jobs.
Well, teen girls also get boob jobs to make their breasts bigger, right? So both are gender affirming in different ways. You seem very obsessed with one and not interested in the other. So that's kind of what I'm interested in. And I guess I don't really have.
Wait, she's she's not openly anti-breast surgery for, like, she thinks it's great? That's crazy. Listen, when you live in Los Angeles, as she did, she probably grew up with a lot of teenagers that went and got rhinoplasties and boob jobs.
It's a singular
at the age
pant of
16.
jeans.
So
It's funny.
obviously she
No,
can't be
not
out
without
here fucking
contract. You must
talking
sign
shit
your
about
likeness
that,
away
you know
to a
what I mean?
studio entity to sell it to the public or win public seat in office. Only then are you legally a public figure. Alabama Supreme Court says embryos are children.
The Alabama Supreme Court ruled that embryos created through in vitro fertilization are considered living children. And the craziest thing is, they might be right. The court based its decision on the state's Fetal Personhood Amendment, which says that life begins at conception and that the state must act to protect all unborn life. Alabama voters passed the Personhood Amendment in 2018, but it was largely toothless because of the rights conferred by Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey and its progeny. But when the U.S. Supreme Court overturned those decisions in Dobbs v. Jackson, it removed the guardrails. Now Alabama and other states with similar amendments can regulate women's reproductive rights in any way that they choose. And in the wake of the Alabama Supreme Court's decisions, many Alabama clinics have halted IVF procedures out of fear that, quote, patients and our physicians could be prosecuted criminally or face punitive damages for following the standards of care for IVF treatments. So patients are now in limbo. Since few insurance companies fully cover fertility treatments, many of these patients have already paid thousands of dollars for procedures that have been delayed or outright canceled. Some patients are scrambling to transfer frozen embryos to clinics out of state. And meanwhile, when a reporter asked Senator Tommy Tuberville about the decision of his state Supreme Court, he seemed to have little or no understanding of what IVF actually is.
To the Alabama Supreme Court ruling on the fact that embryos are children?
Yeah, I was all for it.
When Tuberville was told that IVF helps people have children and that some clinics have paused the procedure as a result of the ruling because they don't want to be criminally prosecuted, he says,
I thought this was the right thing to do, but
IVF is used to have more children, and right now IVF services are paused at some of the clinics in Alabama. Aren't you concerned that this could impact people who are trying to have kids?
well, that's for another conversation. People need to have that. We need more kids. We need the people to have the opportunity to have kids.
alrighty then. So today we're actually going to help the senator from
Alrighty
Alabama
then.
by explaining the consequences of that court's decision. Now, this Alabama ruling raises many questions, such as, if frozen embryos are children, then is it acceptable for them to remain on ice for decades?
He puts fucking popsicle. He puts a fucking popsicle. Oh my god. Yes, Tommy Tuberville is a piece of shit. Okay, so this is crazy, huh? So my next project is I'm going to be dragging some branches, stuffing them under the hedges over here, and close up all the gaps where Rogie can just walk through the hedge. That's my next big project. I've ordered some more fence pieces too to extend the fence even longer. And I need 5 more panels to make it all the way across over there to the pole. Then I'm going to put a couple more through into the hedge over here, and then it's going to be all brush. If I have any extras, I'll put them in there or in various places where I need to just kind of reinforce this side. I wouldn't mind having the whole thing fenced in like that. It'd be cool, but bears are just going to destroy them, you know. They just run right over them. So I need to have some openings for the bears. Deer will jump over it though. The deer are nice, man. Deer jump right over it. 65.8 again. We're down. It did form a double bottom though, guys, while we've been hanging out. A nice W has formed. Right? Everyone sees the W. Yes. Class. This is called a double bottom. It looks like a big W. In Bitcoin, lately, this usually results for a move upwards. So you'll see, sometimes you'll see double bottoms on double bottoms. And they'll reinforce each other, and then you'll really go straight up. This can also, we've seen it result in a pennant pattern, which looks like a flagpole with a flag coming off of it. So usually then the flag goes down, and then it spikes upwards even more. So the target today is 69,000 just for today, supposedly. Supposedly it's going to hit its all-time high today. And I'd love to be live on this show when it happens. This move right here isn't enough to get it there. We have to see... Well, no, big old giant head and shoulders just happened. So that's cool. Inside the double bottom, guys... If we just drag this out a little bit, look at that. So now what we've got is we've got here, we've got a shoulder here, and a head down here, and then a shoulder up here. So we've got an inverse head and shoulders pattern, as well as a double bottom. So that could spike it up. And there's a lot of buzz in the market right now. Let's check the date of the halving. It says 46 days and 1 hour. So we'll say 45 days. Okay, Google. What will the date be in 45 days? The 25th. Does it say the 25th? Oh, it's back to 420, guys. You guys, it's back to 420. You know what I think that means? I think there was more purchasing going on. That's why the date got shorter again. Remember, it got longer. It went to the 21st. Now it's going back down to the 20th. either that or I just took the measurement. The split is in 2 hours from right now. Basically, in it 48 hour 48. Around noon. Jesus Christ. Noon, it looks like it's saying it's right at noon. So before noon, it's 20 days. One is 20 and the other one is 21 days. Right now it's 21 days. At afternoon, it'll be 20 days. I mean 420. My bad. Ugh, don't listen to anything I said. Forget everything I just said. Not days. I mean, what? Before noon. In other words, I think the halving will happen at noon. The halving might happen at noon in 46 days. On 420. I believe. I don't know. I'm too confused. Everything confuses me now. It's me. It's me. It's okay. It's me. Nothing makes sense anymore, man. So, yeah, so this double bottom and inverse head and shoulders, we'll see if it results in a spike upwards. That's all. We'll keep our eye on that. Should we stay live and cover it? I don't want to talk about that anymore. We'll talk about something else. That's Legal Eagle. Hurricane season could start sooner than later. Okay. Kaz Rodriguez hears Primus for the first time. Really? Kaz, you've never seen South Park? Bullshit! I call bullshit. AI's effect on Hollywood. Israel using Gaza as military robot testing ground. Well, we knew that was coming. As predicted on this fucking show. It's already a reality for Palestinians. That nightmare has already arrived. Egypt might invade Israel. Debate. A $40 heater. Crypto influencers are back. What the fuck is this? Voidzilla. What is this?
There is nothing that bothers me like influencers using their powers for evil. But I'm afraid you're going to see a lot more of it now that the meme coins are back, we're back. Well, I don't want to call it a bull run yet. Don't call it a comeback. But Bitcoin's at like $67,000 at the time of talking about this. So I posted this in response. I have a feeling influencers are suddenly going to become crypto experts again. And no sooner did I do that than I saw not influencers, but Bloomberg Television even talking about this. And look, I get it. You guys have to cover the financial markets. But this is weird, man. How do we take this seriously?
Era of the meme coin is back. Can you believe that?
No, I don't.
I like this. Okay, the guy on the left is my guy. He's like, no, it's not.
Tell me more, Tim.
Okay, there's Pepe the dog,
Oh,
the
gosh.
Pepe the frog themed coin,
Okay.
and dog with hat. This is new to me.
I'm
just
holding
learning this from
Pepe.
the most read, Muyao Shen.
Why do you sound like you're taking it seriously? Dog with hat is up 10,000%. Ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for these Ponzi schemes. By the time you hear about it, these people are trying to sell you their bags. It comes in many forms. Usually it comes with green arrows going straight up, right? That's usually what it does. All of these people want you to pump their bag. I want to warn you about this, guys, because every time I see the same thing, and it makes me sad, it also makes me mad. It makes me sad for the people who fall for
Nick,
it, because
what's
they
up,
think
buddy?
For some reason, these people are here to educate them. I don't know how this ever, they're always like, you know what's funny? Nobody's giving financial advice. They're always telling you what to buy. None of them are giving financial advice. They're all
Caroline's
educators.
outside Home Depot.
And people fall for that. I feel bad for them. They think everyone's just their teacher or something. When in reality, they're selling you things that they own. They own these coins. You think they're just talking about the coins for no reason, for nothing? A lot of these, I won't say everybody, almost all of them, own the coins they're selling you, and that's why they're doing it. They want you to buy in. Why? For two reasons. One, so the price of their thing goes up. Secondly, so that when they sell, you're in there so they can get a nice exit price, okay? Exit liquidity is what we call it in the biz. Please do not. I feel like I'm begging you guys. I'm warning you. I saw this. I had to say something. Already, you got influencers out here. Even KSI Crypto, of course, he's back, right? The tourists are back. That's what we call these influencers. They leave. They leave when the lawsuits come and everyone loses their money. They leave. They go, what? Huh? Me? Crypto? No way. And then all of a sudden, crypto pumps a little bit, and now they're interested. I thought it was interesting. KSI Crypto says all these meme coins is terrible for the space. Going up is terrible for the space. Makes it look like a joke. I hope they all go to zero, which I thought was funny and also true. Ironically, though, we have this little banger from Zach XBT. Remember this one, guys? Remember this little meme coin? That was cool last cycle. This cycle, it's an embarrassment, I guess. No, but really, it is bad. And these people tweeting about the coins they like, the coins they want you to buy, just beware. All these numbers are ridiculous. Remember how many people lost their shirts last time, and don't fall for the same hype. Ultimately, their goal is to get you to sell out of your safe investments and to instead dump it into the casino, dump it into the gambler's paradise. But the worst part to me is they're not honest about what this is. Most of them, they're like talking about, investments that can 10x. It's just a roulette. The only thing worse than the degenerate gambling is the fact they try to justify it by saying things like, we're all going to make it. Oh, we're a big community. We love each other. It's about the memes. We're not here for money. It's about the memes. Guys, none of your memes are funny. Like, all these people, I swear, are pretending that dog memes are funny. I don't get it. Like, they were funny for the first 5 days of Dogecoin, and then it got old. But these people are tirelessly recycling the same meme over and over because they don't have any originality. This one's called Dog with Hat, or with. Here's the kind of golden memes they keep doing. It's just dogs. It's dogs with hats, guys. Get it? Don't you wanna make my price go higher since I showed you a dog with a hat? I mean, even if it wasn't criminal to constantly pump and dump your bags as an influencer, it should be criminal to back something this unfunny. the 50,000th iteration of something that was barely funny the first time. I mean, I think actually it's probably the money that does it. It drives the worst people, the least funny people, the least creative people to these kinds of projects, and they just shill it to the point where it's, even if the meme was funny, all the biggest, like, degenerates are a hold of it, and then they just turn it into spam. It's just spam by the time it reaches the average consumer. It's just a bunch of people going, ha 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 ha. It's like, oh, your whole livelihood is
666.
So that's why you think it's funny. You don't actually care about this. And so I just want you guys to see through it. I feel like during these markets, the only people who are talking about it are either Bloomberg people going, what's a dog with hat? And then it's the people shilling it. So it's like the people who know nothing about it or the people shilling it. We have to get beyond this. We have to call it what it is. It's a glorified Ponzi scheme with an added social component of pretending that we're all in this together when we are very much not. I'll leave you guys with this because people have an inability to look at history. This is Mark Zuckerberg's sister singing 2 years ago about how we're all going to make it. And I just want you guys to remember that when this song came out, a lot of people were actually seeing this unironically. They unironically agreed that we were all going to make it. We very much did not. And I hope you guys stay away from these psychopaths. These people telling you you're going to get 10,000%, 10x, 100x. Please don't listen to it. It wasn't true when Mark Zuckerberg's sister talked about it, and it's certainly not true now.
We're all gonna make it. Yeah, we're all gonna make it. Everyone.
Wait, am I going to get copyright claimed for this? Okay, well, I think you get it. I think you get it. It's so cringy. Like, this is what crypto thinks art is. Mark Zuckerberg's sister singing Wag Me. Anyways, please stay safe out there, guys. I'll be here to call out these fraudsters when I can.
Wow. The money in Vietnam is called dongs, so they ask how many dongs each other have all day. Stay away from the river, orcas. I have to drag some branches across the yard. That's my big thing I have to do today. I have to drag some branches and stick them under the hedge. So did Bitcoin make a new all-time high, guys? It was fucking close.
Bitcoin briefly hit a new all-time high, and Shiba Inu briefly dropped 50%. You're watching CoinDesk Daily. I'm your host, Jen Sanasi.
Jen's so nasty.
Bitcoin briefly soared to a new all-time high
see
this
that.
morning above $69,000 as of 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Bitcoin was at just under 67,000.
So it hit a new all-time high. I didn't know. I did not know that. We have hit a new all-time high. So is that the end? No. Hell no. I guess a lot of people were, already entered in to leave. Right on, win it. Jimmy Dore sucks. Hell yeah. We're waiting to see if, I was going to say if it beats its all-time high. It's already hit its all-time high. My bad. I guess we can look on the date here. Let's see. On CoinMarketCap, it says the all-time high of Bitcoin is 69,170. Yeah, it is 69,170, guys. 69,170, March 5th, a day ago. So it did hit 69,170. And there it is. 68,805 is all this says. Isn't that stupid? Come on. So it must have been a wick that just bopped it, but the candle didn't hold. 68,805. But now we're at 69,170, so we know that. Okay. And a giant double bottom is formed on the 7-day chart. And a giant inverse head and shoulders pattern, guys. Oh my God. Holy shit. Dude, look at the... If these week patterns are the same as the 24-hour patterns, look at this. This is the 7-day chart, guys. Let's calculate it, right? Okay, so we're going to start at 61.4. 61.4 to 68.8. 61. 7,000. Anywhere between 77 and 84. Between 77 and 84,000 is the target, guys, on that 7-day chart. $66.6 just from 580, it just jumped up. 666 again. Let's see if it moves. Let's see if it budges. I'm kind of excited to find out. That reaction, that's off of a falling pennant pattern. Yeah. No, according to CoinMarketCap, it hit 69,170 yesterday. The new all-time high has been set. So Cash App is incorrect. So Bitcoin has set a new all-time high. And we just got to get, we've still got the halving, man. So fucking A, bro. It's crazy. We're under 666 again. So there's a pennant, right? that's formed off of this giant double bottom. But this pennant is on the 7-day chart. So you have a giant head and shoulders, right? You could just say it's here, here, and here. Just a giant head and shoulders. You could call the shoulders up here and up here. It doesn't matter. It's a giant head and shoulders pattern. You take the distance of it, it's $7,000 from top to bottom. And then you just flip it up. You should flip it up from where we are right now, I would think. 7,000 up from here, 66. 73. So that would put you at 73,000. But if you double that 7 and give it 14,000, it just depends on if you double it or not. But if we go back to this 24-hour chart and just see what we're doing. It's forming new areas of support and resistance, unfortunately. And we're going to have to break through those. There's no telling how long that's going to take. Let's see what Harmony is doing in the meantime. So Harmony's gone up since the last time I checked it. It's at 31, which is great. Harmony's at 31. It's been higher, but 3 cents and a tenth is fantastic. You guys are going to learn real quick how exponential growth works. Or exponential loss if this was it. Easy, get blocked on my Facebook channel forever. Jim Belushi is asking for help getting rid of 5 tons of trim. 5 tons. Make triage oil. Dude, we could make triage oil out of that. Think of all the triage oil we could make with that. That's a gold mine. You should tell him, bro. Tell him about how to make triage oil. Think of all the people he could... Bro, he could open up his own goddamn line. He's got it. It's right there. He's got it right there. He's got the base right there, man. He's just got to extract the goddamn oil. So easy. So easy to do in large quantities like that when you've got the processing plant that does that. I used to have the instructions. I watch his show on Discovery. It's a full airplane hanger. I was clear to order it. Now I can't find the paper, to be honest. It was included in an order. How to make it? It's fucking simple. It's easy how to make triage oil. I'll tell you how right now. You got to concentrate. The hardest part is to concentrate your cannabis. All right? And there's a million different ways you can extract the oil from the cannabis, right? So use the method that's easiest for you. The one that I prefer is using isopropyl alcohol. And then I like to vac purge if I can, or purge over heat for a long period of time. Make sure you get all the alcohol out. And then you're just left with black cannabis oil. Once you have your black cannabis oil, some people call that Rick Simpson oil. I don't care, like I said, I don't care how you extract it. Once you get that oil, and it should be from, just from regular cannabis flower that you would smoke to get high. Okay? Not a special strain or anything. All cannabis has it. Just get yourself a bucket of coconut oil. Like, get a 5-gallon bucket, right? If you have a whole bunch of cannabis oil, like he's going to have. And you could just use 33-gallon buckets, or whatever. But the mixture, and then you get yourself peppermint oil, right? And the mixture is so simple. 98% coconut oil, 1% peppermint oil, 1% heat-activated cannabis oil. When your Rick Simpson oil has already been heat-activated. That's how you made it, most likely. Using heat. But, mine is heat-extracted. And if not, you need to heat it. You got to get it to 175 degrees for about 10 minutes. And usually that is achieved by when I'm extracting when I'm dissipating the alcohol, I turn on the heat, to get the alcohol out of there, and that also heats up the oil and activates it. Right. Excellent. Cool. So now we all know how to make, and you can do this on a very small scale. You can use 1 ounce in a 1 ounce jar that looks just like this. 1 ounce of coconut oil. Pay attention now. Probably about, I'm going to just guess and say about 15 drops of peppermint oil and about 15 drops of heat-activated THC oil. That's it. And you can put more THC oil in. You can put less peppermint oil. You can use something besides peppermint oil. If you don't like peppermint, you can use eucalyptus or something else. But with the peppermint, you can use it in your mouth and stuff. It's pretty safe if you burn off all the alcohol. Isopropyl is dangerous. You want to make sure you burn that all off. You want to make sure you purge it completely, 100%. Your alcohol shouldn't be your THC oil shouldn't be flammable at all. When you open your container, you shouldn't be able to smell isopropyl alcohol at all. How many grams of oil per 100 milliliter bottle? I don't know what you mean. $100 milliliter bottle of coconut oil? Well, it should be pretty easy, right? 1%, so you would use 1 milliliter of activated, heat activated Rick Simpson oil, THC oil, and 1 milliliter of peppermint oil, or a little less. I think 1 milliliter would be fine. That's easy, because it's 100. You know, you take out 2 milliliters of coconut oil. You don't have to. It'll be fine at 102 milliliters total. You can be very liberal. It doesn't matter what your mix is, really. You could mix to taste. If you want to put less peppermint, more THC, less THC oil in there, it's up to you. It'll work. It's amazing. It totally works at 50%. You know, it works at 20%. It works at 10%. It works at 5%. It works at 1%. It works at 0.5%. It all works. Now, the more of a higher percentage of THC oil in there, the longer lasting it might be, but I haven't tested that. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if I made it more potent if the pain relief would last longer. But I've never really had a problem with the pain relief lasting 2 hours. By 2 hours, man, I forget about the pain. Even if it wears off, I've completely forgotten about it. You still have some triage oil that I gave you. I hope it still works for you. That stuff does not last forever. It should be kept refrigerated or in the freezer. If it's put in the sunlight, it'll spoil. It'll turn rancid. You can still use it, but you don't want to put it in your mouth. It smells pretty bad. It smells like machine oil, but it'll work as it'll still keep mosquitoes off you, and you can use it on stings and bites and things like that. But I wouldn't put it on open skin when it's rancid. It's not safe. You've had it for this long, it's probably rancid by now, I would think. That's a long time. Right. This crypto is not going anywhere right now, but I know it's going to explode, and I'm going to miss it, and it's going to hit an all-time high, and I'm going to be sad. But I really need to go outside and do some yard work, guys. So maybe I'll go live in a few, maybe later. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next show. I'm so glad so many of you are here chatting with me. You used ours up. Everyone, Nay is saying it's true. Yes, it's true. Follow me on Twitter at Nay's Garden, and please follow this Rumble channel, and follow me on the YouTube channel at Nay's Garden on YouTube. Keep following me back over there, guys, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. All right, bye.